views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello, my name is Melissa Ceballero with Montefiore Health System. Today, Montefiore, BronxNet, and Bee Blossom Catering are back to celebrate April, which is Autism Awareness Month, with a new cooking demo. The autism spectrum is a complicated developmental condition that can cause significant challenges with communication, behavior, and social interaction. Children on the spectrum can vary greatly in their level of skill and ability. Helping to keep their daily meal routines consistent and avoiding some very common ingredients are just a few ways to support children on the spectrum. Today, Chef Matthew with Bee Blossom Catering will show us how to prepare a vegan macaroni and cheese using zero dairy products, as well as a delicious and healthy dessert with apples, oats, and pecans that uses zero sugar. We hope you enjoy the recipes and health tips shared today and put them to good use in your homes. And now, here with our cooking demo, please help me welcome Chef Matthew with Bee Blossom Catering.
Top of the day to you. My name is Chef Matthew from Bee Blossom, and we are here today to celebrate Autism Month. We are here to look at what can we do to help foster our children and make sure they're living healthy each and every day. We believe at Bee Blossom that let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Another thing is that dairy, again, each and every child with autism is different in the spectrum. They react differently to food, they react differently to colors, they react differently to shapes and sizes. Because your kids may say, oh, I don't like this mac and cheese because maybe it's not penne, maybe it's the elbows that they're accustomed to. So on our table today, what you're going to see is colors, differentiation between shapes and sizes. And another thing is, most times we have to be careful of the product that is dyed, because most dyes are chemicals. So what we are saying is that we can, if you want to make pasta, for instance, we can take spinach and make green pasta. We can take tomatoes and make red pasta. All these things are good and healthy and nutritious for us because it's not what? It's not chemicals. We're going to show you two recipes. One will be sliced apples, which will be cooked in apple juice, which is not sweetened, and it's going to have a laced with cinnamon, nutmeg, and some vegan butter. That's it. And then it will be topped with oats. Oatmeal, of course, you know it's good for you. And of course, pecans. Pecans is rich. We have the vitamin C's going on, with potassium K. So all of these things, what it spells is a nourishing dessert. Amazing, is it not? And secondly, we're going to do mac and cheese. You know, we are accustomed to the mac and cheese loaded with salt, right? Why am I saying this? Cheese is high in sodium, whatever cheese you may do. Cheese, for instance, there may be 450 calories of sodium in maybe a tablespoon or two. Every time you shake some salt, just a pinch of salt, do you know that's between 500 and 700 calories? It's amazing what's happening out here. So we're going to show you a recipe today with macaroni and cheese made with carrots and cauliflower. And guess what? Today we have coconut and almond milk. What a hit today. Sometimes you can make it with cashew milk, which gives you a wonderful and beautiful consistency. And our cheese and everything that we have on this table today is non-dairy. So we're going to start today with the apples, and then we're going to go to the other recipe, and we will come back. So I'm going to turn on my stove, and let me tell you, before you start, make sure you turn your oven up to 375 degrees. I'm going to add the apples to my pan, medium heat, of course. And then I'm going to add the apple juice. Now, in this pan, it's going to be approximately 6 cups of sliced apples. So we're going to let this start cooking. We're going to come back to that process. So we're going to give it time to get all that flavor that's happening there, because when they start cooking, then we're going to add some other ingredients. Our next recipe, of course, will be mac and cheese. So now we're going to add 1 cup of water. And you should hear that sizzle right now. Carrots, which is 2 carrots, peeled and sliced. Cauliflower, 1.5 cups of cauliflower. 1/4 cup of onion, chopped onions. 1 garlic clove. Brown mustard, 1 teaspoon. Now, the reason for the mustard is that mustard gives flavor, and mustard also brings a salty flavor to the pot. And what we're going to do, we're going to let these items here cook together and reduce. But first and foremost, we cooked about 1 pound of penne pasta. And you can cook it to the manufacturer's instructions, and there you go. It will be beautiful. So this is happening right here, and right now we slick back over here. So now the reason for our water in the carrots and the cauliflower and the garlic is so that the water can cook the vegetables that's in this pot. When the vegetables are cooked and it's nice and tender, most time is the fact that the water will be no more. It has evaporated, the vegetables has cooked, and it's time to go on to the next step in this pot right here. So now we are going back to the apples that we have cooking, and it's known in the apple juice that's unsweetened. Now, to this, we're going to add cinnamon, nutmeg. And we're going to let this cook further. The whole idea with this is, normally you know that most times if people are doing anything, they either put flour or cornstarch to thicken. What we are doing is we are letting this reduce to the absolute minimum, and then we will continue the process where this is. Simply because, again, we are talking about cornstarch, right? Genetically modified products. We are talking about flour, which carries gluten. So gluten, kids with autism are sensitive to gluten and products that carries gluten. And next, we're going to add the butter. This is the vegan butter. Brings you flavor. Brings you a good mouth feel. So now this is cooking and it's reducing. Now, we are going to go back to this recipe over here. If you notice, most of the water has evaporated. The carrots is getting nice and tender. The cauliflower actually is already tender. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing right here. Okay, so in this cup, we have approximately 2.5 cups of almond and coconut milk. So we add it at this juncture. Now, we're going to also add the butter. And the yeast flakes to this. So we're going to stir. We're going to let this cook for a couple more minutes, about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will be able to blend this up together and make a wonderful, beautiful sauce to put over your pasta. And again, I know we're moving back, but we are going back to those apples that's in there. So now, if you notice, the apples is cooking nicely. There's a vibrant color with the nutmeg and the cinnamon. And if you were here right now, you can smell this delicious goodness that's going on in this pan. Man, it's beautiful. That's right. The apples are looking silky, and that's what we need. So, also, we're going to top it, remember, with the crumb, which is made from the oats and the pecans. So this is cooking beautifully. Now what we're going to do with this is when we're going to take it out of this pan, we're going to top it off with a crumble, and then we're going to put it in the oven at 375 and bake it so that it can be a wonderful, wonderful dessert. That's right. So it's cooking, it's smelling good, and we are going back to the other recipe for the mac and cheese to finish that one off. So now, here's the mac and cheese. We're going to take what's in this container and blend it. Let it cool just slightly and blend it. And what we're going to do is add this mixture when we blend it to our mac, to our pasta, our penne. So we're going to blend it and add it to our pasta and top it with our dairy-free cheese and bake it off at 375 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. So that will complete this dish, which is the mac and cheese with penne pasta. Okay, so we have blended our vegetables and milk from this pot. We have added it to our pasta, and we have cooked it at 375 degrees, and lo and behold, here is your dish. What a beautiful thing. And for the apples, we have cooked it in its own juice. We have added the butter and the nutmeg and the cinnamon, and I'm telling you what a beautiful dish this is. Here it is. So it is the apple topped with the oats and pecans. So we want to thank you today for being with us in this time when we have the pandemic that's going on. And what's important, some little tips, we inside, open your door, let some warm air, let some cool air comes in. Again, take a walk around the block with your family. All of these good things. Remember, try to stay away from the chemicals. Try to stay away from the preservatives. Try to stay away from milk. I'm not telling you don't drink milk. All I'm saying is some of these are triggers for your children with autism. So we thank you, we appreciate it, and have a wonderful day.
On behalf of Montefiore Health System, we hope you enjoyed today's cooking demo in honor of Autism Awareness Month. Thank you to Chef Matthew with Bee Blossom Catering and to BronxNet for our continued partnership, making sure we are bringing critical information and resources to the populations that we love and that we serve. Please use these recipes and these health tips in your home with your loved ones. Please enjoy in a safe environment, and thank you for joining us.